All right, welcome back to Boruto Anime Review. This is episode. This is not. This is special number 5. I forgot to hit record before, but yeah, I was almost on the review and I forgot to hit record. Okay, this chapter. Now here's the thing with the Boruto anime. I thought the newest episode aired today, but I kind of forgot the fact that the show was moved to Thursdays. So yeah, expecting this review to be on Thursday. Okay, fine, whatever. So this is special number 5. First, the last review, last special day was actually last month, reviewing the last chapter. Mhm. This one is Karma. That's the name of this thing. Which that name is thrown around once or twice of the whole entire chapter. Yep. Excuse me. It picks up right where the last chapter leaves off, where you see the leader Kara just standing on top of a toad, jumps off. Well, actually, he sends it away. He talks about he's impressed with his battle with Ao. And then basically Konohamaru asks the question, what type of organization is Kara, and what are you mobilizing it for? He declines to answer and just tries to kill them, says goodbye, and then Konohamaru unzips his vest, and I think it looks like a ninja suit, and unveils a seal he had on his frickin' chest, undoes the jutsu, and it gets into a big brawl with him, beats him up for a little while, summons the Rasengan, and of course and then the leader counters with his own Rasengan, and they basically cancel each other out. And then Konoha realizes, oh no, he wondering what happened to his. He's like, okay, and Ryu's like, what happened to his? Like, oh crap, he just slipped into he just shrunk him down, and then set Konohamaru on fire. Yeah, he literally sets him on fire. And then basically Boruto's like, stop. And then he takes out his hand, basically his curse mark, and it's like Makuru, he's the character from Inuyasha. He's basically using it like his wind tunnel. And he uses it to absorb the fire that's trying from Konohamaru. And of course, see his progression going up Boruto's his face and going up his arm. Like everybody's so shocked that he can do this. Like, and of course, this is the first time he does this. Of course, the guy basically retreats, and he comments that he did not expect to witness Karma here. He always thought that Naruto defeated Momoshiki. It was actually Boruto. Yeah, watch the Boruto film to actually understand what he's talking about. Now, basically, I kind of forgot this guy's name. Now, this is probably something that, due to translation, I'm not sure why it is, due to the wording. In the anime, he refers to Boruto as Young Lord. In the manga, he refers to as Young Master. It's kind of the same thing with Sasumori, both in the manga and the anime. Sasumori in the anime is referred to as Class Rep. In the manga, she refers to as Class President. It's essentially to put the same thing, but I kind of wish they were consistent on that part. And of course, since Boruto collapsed after his big battle, so well, he's about to fall over after using it for the first time. Now, looking at his mark, basically his face is kind of like the way it was during the opening chapter, but without the scar over his eye. Yeah, that is not there. And his Tensenken, I think it's called, is over his. I think it's his right eye, and we see his mark is formed to like 4 dots between his knuckles, a black circle, and it looks like, I don't know, looks like a kind of like a pair of like chompers or whatever, kind of like tweezers with a little curved, and it's like repeating several times up Boruto's arm. And because he used it the first time, he collapses, and of course the guy's like, okay, first time he uses his power, I'm gonna retreat now. He's like he comments like, things are really interesting. I'll retreat now. And Sadara really wants to answer more questions to him. And of course Momokichi stops him because like he wants to answer the question as well. It's like how, and then the leader says, how wise, as expected for Uchimaru's child. And he just walks away, and of course, Boruto's curse mark goes basically back to normal. And then they start walking back to the village. Boruto will hang off Sarada, and then pretty much he's looking at his arm. And Washiki notices something unusual, and then he goes on top of a hill, sees a damaged robot, which apparently has been there for a while. Yeah, it's one of the puppets from a few chapters back. Says it's cold, completely cold, and a long time has passed. My guess is probably a few days. It's probably not that recent. Yeah. And you look at like, yeah, and note that this location is so far from the blimp. And then the dog, which I kind of forgot this dog was even there. Yeah, Kamaru. I think it's the offspring of Akamaru. I'm not really sure though. It kind of looks like him too. And then they look over the side of the hill, and it's Kanashi. Yes, the guy who Boruto was fighting in the opening chapter of the Boruto manga, well, the first 5 pages, and the first episode of the anime. Yeah, first ever meeting between him and Boruto. Yep. And who's wondering who the heck this guy is? Someone's collapsed. This guy defeat the puppets? He says his reaction, he seems to be alive. He says that you have to go help him, he's injured. And apparently on his, looks like his left hand, he's got the same curse mark as Boruto. And that's where the chapter ends. Yeah, next chapter released June 4th. So, wait a month. So, this chapter really did wrap up what seemed like this particular arc. I would say this is the second post-movie arc that this manga has had. So, this chapter definitely did feel like it wrapped up this particular arc, and the way it ended, that sets up next arc. But who knows how long the next arc will last for. This arc felt like it lasted about 5 or 6 chapters. Yeah, I mean the whole post-movie stuff has been going on since chapter 12. Yes, chapter 12. That's where pretty much where they go original story route instead of just readapting the movie. Though I wouldn't be surprised though if somehow that alterations basically from the film makes into the show itself. Yeah. So what do I give this particular chapter? I give this chapter a 9.5 out of 10. It's a very good chapter. Very surprising that Boruto's curse mark finally comes into play after being seen once or twice since the the whole thing and the movie stuff ended. Yeah, it's not really used very much. I think it's mentioned once between this and the movie, and they see it like a couple times. But it's like Boruto does nothing with it, and all of a sudden this chapter, like, okay, let's make it into this universe version of the wind tunnel from Inuyasha for no reason. All right, so that's really it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which is basically going to be my review of the newest episode of Tokyo Re. Now, I was looking for the dub. Apparently, the dub has not been aired yet, not been uploaded yet to the particular site I usually use. For some reason, I don't know why. And expect a review of the newest episode probably gonna be subbed, and the newest chapter of the Tokyo Ghoul Re manga, which will be chapters 171. Yep, expect to review that soon. Okay, but until we see you next review. Bye.